Dancers imitate the Tinikling bird's legendary grace and speed by skillfully maneuvering between large bamboo poles.
Give another round of applause for United Filipino Organizations. Where's my co-host?
Here we go.
Co-host.
Hello.
Hey, do you know what the Tinikling is about?
A bird.
A bird. Is that true? It's about a bird? Yeah, that's as far as we're going to get on this. So the Tinikling is about them trying to capture the bird in the bamboo sticks. Yeah?
Oh.
And then the whole idea is that Filipinos cannot be captured.
Oh, hell no, we can't be captured.
Yeah. So they like
You know-
dance out of it, you know? Like there's a lot of dances. Dancing is this amazing language that I think that, we got to see in the last two sets. But a lot of the dances are about capturing Filipinos, but Filipinos always resist, and Filipinos always dance out of it.
That's right. Even if you're husky, we're kind of fast.
They were so fast. I was so excited. Okay. We are now going to introduce our next group. I am so proud to know these amazing teachers. They've taught me so much. The organization is called Pinay and Pinoy Educational Partnerships, or PEP.
Woo!
It is an educational pipeline that goes all the way from kindergarten to college. And the people who are going to come out today are, oh, wait, I have a former student. Who is coming out? Okay. I got well, they're all my former students, but then one of them is a former PEP student who was a high school student, then became a PEP teacher, a coordinator, and now he's a counselor, so it's exciting. And then we have the three others are all teachers, and then we have one who just got his PhD. So come on out, let me introduce you so I can show. Yay, look at
they're
these
shy.
folks.
They're shy.
Are you being shy? Shy. They have all their PEP gear here. Okay, right here we have Alvin Gubatina. Woohoo! He's working over at Skyline College, doing some amazing work with the youth out there. And then we have Lauren Daus. 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 She just became a commissioner today. What is your position?
Library Board of Trustee in Daly City.
Give her a round of applause for that. She's our newest politician. Yay. And she's a teacher. Don't forget that. She teaches over at June Jordan High School in San Francisco. Woohoo, named after the poet. And she is a poet. And then we got right here, we got Von Torres. He's over at Clovis Community College. Am I correct? Yes, that's right. And he is a writing teacher. And he edits all my stuff. I love it. Yay. And then this guy right here is Raju Desai. Please say Dr. Raju Desai. Woohoo! He literally just became a doctor this last month. Yeah, and it is huge. And, I just want to say, Dawn loved all four of these teachers. And, she really wanted to, make sure, that each of them were successful in their own right. And so it's beautiful that they get to come up here and share their poetry. So please welcome Pinay and Pinoy Educational Partnerships.
I am a boulder that never learned to be a rolling stone, a child left heavy and alone, immigrated to a country not of his own. Brown-skinned little brother bathing in skin whitening to reflect the history he was learning. Disguised voice to match the narrative being told, often taught to be silent, not bold. Often taught to be accommodating like clay to mold, often taught to hate self and others, left me wondering why I was so cold. Watching my life unfold in a way where I had no control. My journey for justice is on a college campus with my brown kin suffering from the same historical amnesia I am deciphering. Classroom full of cousins talking about Tito Larry and Stockton, eyes widening when finding out history they thought was gone, bringing back stories to nourish their families, that's my motivation. My existence is resistance, and with clear eyes to realize this system was not built for us, but trust our ancestors got us, Carlos, Larry, Fred, and Dawn.
My journey for justice stems from the roots of those who wore long rubber boots and big black aprons at the canneries in Alaska. As I struggled for finances, filling out my FAFSA, yearning to attend college and get my master's, I could feel the love and energy of my ancestors. Moving 400 miles away, what I didn't know was the history of this place that I would have to drive past on the way to get from Cerritos to the Bay. Delano, California was where my Ilocano grandfather worked the fields. I never got to meet him, but I learned more about his story through the photos that were taken and left behind in Apong's house in Kamaling, Tarlac, Philippines. Grandpa Cornelius was hella swagalicious, just like the other manongs who like to dress up and take pictures. And when we look around, we all know this ain't fictitious, because we're also ambitious in looking swagalicious.
My journey for justice begins with my DNA. I carry the genetic information of my family and community, feeling the histories and traumas passed on to me. I am the son of fighters whose ring and perpetual opponent is America, is paperwork, is perfect accents, is racism, is heart problems, is whiteness, is time. Ponce and Gloria train their eyes on the immigration policies that can be used against them. They strengthen their ears and listen to words that discriminate against them. My dad throws verbal power punches and my mom uppercuts injustices and unfairness.
I am more than you think, if only you could see past your assumptions. I am the rose grown from the gentrified concrete of the Excelsior, rooted in the chawls of Mumbai and the esteros of Manila. From immigrant wishes and broken American dreams, from underfunded schools with whitewashed curriculum that erases the historical truth that people like us also built this nation, worked these fields, and are just as much a part of America as any white person.
I come from San Francisco State University, where I learned more about my history. Taught by Gonzo, Irene, Tito Dan, Ata Allison, and Manang Don, I found purpose in creating change in the stereotypical pictures that were already drawn. I learned that it wasn't what it seemed when Larry Itliong traveled across the sea to reach his lawyer dreams that he felt was his destiny. His calling to organize is what he saw in people's eyes when the Repatriation Act was promoted as a blessing in disguise. They said Mexicans and Filipinos were taking their jobs and all they could do was hate and sob, while POCs built solidarity and stood strong. It took way too long for them to feel like they belonged, for me to feel like I belonged. Their field was in the farms, my field is in education. They raised their arms for the system to be alarmed, that they wanted to strike for what they believed was right. I raised my fist towards the sky and beyond to fight alongside the youth and for the ones that are gone.
We are the dreams of our ancestors and the hopes of our descendants. We are what has always made America great, despite what anyone may say. We are the fruit born from the seeds planted by Larry, by Carlos, by Cesar, by Dolores, and by Don.
I come from a family that's not sure how to talk about our problems. How do we name our Filipino-American traumas? We join movements and organizations with people that look like us, give ourselves space to build and support one another. We can be hurt and still communicate. We can use our voice if we work in solidarity. We can taste the harvest of justice that came before us. Don and Larry, generations apart, yet history forever connected. Another chromosome added when we hear of the fights and struggles to uplift our people. A journey for justice always evolving, one story, one community, one creative and imaginative healing at a time.
Positively no Filipinos allowed. Ain't nothing positive about that. All the negativity didn't suffice. The workers who were only given one small piece of salmon, seaweed, and steamed rice. Seven Fingers was his nickname, and it hasn't been the same since he changed the game. He taught me that social change doesn't need all that fame. And when the sun hits our skin, it reminds us of our kin who's done the back-breaking work, but seen as criminals who sinned. We come from generations who gave a big F you to the fools who told us you can't be you. For us, by us, our journey for justice ain't just for us, but from the ones who came before us and for our descendants. I dedicate these words to my ancestors, especially to my Uncle Robert. Today would have been your 55th birthday, and even though you passed away, I feel your presence in your daughter every day. I know you're up above, showering our fam with love, eating sweets and singing songs, and cracking jokes with Manang Don. Thank you for being my fuel for the resistance. Every instance I burn incense, I reminisce on our memories of pure bliss as I continue on with my journey for justice.
Isang bagsak! Dalawang bagsak! Tatlong bagsak!
Give another round of applause for Pinay and Pinoy Educational Partnerships. We always say that Dawn was the ninang of PEP, but she's also the mother of Little Manila.
That's right. That's right. The next group, when you see them, you're going to see a little bit of Don. When Don and I first started Little Manila, we were all about academics, historic preservation, social justice, and all that kind of stuff. And we never dreamed that we would enter the world of the arts, indigenous art. And when one of our former students came back to Stockton after graduating from Berkeley, he wanted to start this group to honor our ancestors. And so before we bring them out, I want you to understand that our dancers just don't dance the moves, but they dance the history and feeling and passions of our people and those who came before us. Brian Batugo, our artistic director, travels to the Philippines to train with our indigenous tribes back in the Philippines. And we purchase our attire from those tribes back in the Philippines to support those tribes that are under threat still today. And so we remember our homeland, we remember the Philippines, we remember our indigenous people. In all of us, there is a fire there prior to colonialism, prior to someone telling us, this is what you are. We were able to define ourselves. And this is the reason why our people dance, and this is the reason why Don wrote and writes, continues to write in our hearts, the beauty of our people.